everyone, Christopher Allen of Christopher Allen Designs, and this is our second installment of the Halloween Spooktacular craft series. And today I want to teach you, I'm actually slipping this one into the rotation because I've had a lot of questions about using the embossing pen with our Cricut Explore. The embossing pen is actually the Ranger. It is the perfect medium pen. I'm not sure if you're going to be able, probably not going to be able to read that with the lighting. Kinda, you can read it. But with this pen, this very simple pen, and our Cricut Explore, we can actually create what looks like a rubber stamped image that we can emboss. I want to show you very quickly. I'm going to show you these cards at the end of the video too, but I want to show you them kind of a little bit more of a close-up here. This is one of the cards that I was able to create with the emboss. This is all embossed here on the front. Here's another one. This is, again, all of this is embossed here. Here's our third one. Again, everything is completely embossed here. And this is the one that we are actually going to be making in the video. Now, I want to preface, I kind of recorded this a little bit backwards because the second portion that you're going to see right after this, I actually did not hit the record button. So in the next portion, which is the portion where I show you how to get the wingding and load everything onto the mat, I actually have this image that I put onto the mat and that I find in the wingdings. But this is the image that you're going to see me actually create. So everything is done exactly the same way. There's no differences in the way that I actually put everything on the mat. They are just different images. So I don't want everyone to think that obviously it's it's kind of throwing you off, because this card is actually the image that I use in the next portion, but this is the card that I'm going to actually construct for us today. I'm going to show you how to use a Spectrum Noir marker to create a perfectly colored gemstone to match your card, match your embossing powder, and I think that's all. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop over to the computer now. I'm going to show you exactly how to download those wingdings, how to find the wingdings from my favorite font website, load them into the computer, and get started. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to put everything together. Again, very simple. You're literally just going to take this perfect medium pen, and when you're going to be drawing on the mat, and I'll show you which portion that you have to click to make sure that it's drawing, you're just going to put this right into the pen holder. It is the same size, the same dimension, the same circumference as one of the Cricut pens, so you won't have a problem with using this. So we'll be right back on the computer. All right, everyone, what we're first going to need to do is we're going to need to go to dafont.com. Once we get to dafont.com, you're going to want to go ahead and jump into the search here, and you're going to type in Halloween. Now, you can type in any holiday name here, and you will get several different dingbat fonts that will pop up that we can actually use for our project here. Now, you see here that we have a lot of different Halloween fonts, dingbats here, and these will all be drawn out with our pen. The one that I like, that I want to use for this particular project, is all the way at the bottom here, and it's called MTF Sweet Halloween Dings. All you have to do here is you want to hit download, and once you download it, I'm not going to download it here because I have already downloaded it, but you'll hit download, and then it will be inserted into, or it will actually be, not inserted, but it will be put into and installed onto your computer. So we'll go ahead and close this, and we're just going to go right to our Cricut canvas. Now, all we need to do is we want to go back, actually I should not have closed that, let's go back to Dafont, and we want to make sure that we know the letters that correspond with our pictures. So we're going to go back down to that font that we like here, we'll click on it, and it will show us all the different images that come with this free font. The ones I want to use are the Happy Halloween, and this fun little skeleton looking creature here. So that's the D and that's the K. In some of these different tutorials that I have done, I show you that you can actually print out this page, and it will show, you will have all of those there, and obviously it's something great to have. So the D and the K. So what we want to do is our card base. First, what we need is we need a background image. So we're just going to type in square here, and we will pull up a square. Now, my image, let's hit search here. my image, not my image, excuse me, my card base is actually 5.5 by 5.5 square. So we're going to pull up our square image here, and we'll click on just whatever square we would like that we have, and then hit Insert Image. Now, with this, we do not need, of course, the shadow layers. This is a shadow layer from a previous project, so we'll go ahead and we'll delete that shadow layer, and we'll go ahead and we'll delete this one. First, what we need to do is ungroup, and then we'll click on it and we'll delete that shadow layer. So this one, we'll say we want to make this at about, let's say, 3.5 inches. So we'll go ahead and do 3.5 inches. We'll hit the edit up here in the corner, and we'll do 3.5 inches. And just click here in the box, and it will make that the size that we want. Now I'm also doing a sentiment on the bottom here. So let's go ahead and we'll duplicate this box. We'll hit duplicate. And for this box, we want this to be just a little bit larger lengthwise, but height-wise, we want it to be much smaller. So we're going to go up here to our edit, and we're going to unclick the this little lock here, because that will unset the aspect, meaning that we can make the height and the width two different sizes, and it's not going to create a perfect square anymore. So with the width, we'll do 4 inches, and with the height, we'll do 2 inches. Actually, let's do, let's do 1 inch. And then that will be our sentiment that we can put over top of the square or anywhere that we would like on the card. So again, we want to remember what our letters were in correspondence with the font. So we'll go up to the font, and again, that's a D and a K. So we'll go ahead and click here, and we want to move this down a little bit, and we'll go ahead and hit our add text. Now, I already have my font up here ready to go, but you can, of course, once you actually type in the D or the K, you can go ahead and pull that up, whichever font you want to use here. So again, let's jump back. It's the K and the D, and it's the capital D and the capital K. So let's take this out and do a capital D here. Whoops, didn't have that highlighted. Let's do a capital D, and that's going to give us our Happy Halloween sentiment. And what we want to do here is we just want to drag this out so it's the size of our sentiment box down here. So we'll just move that down, shift it over a little bit, just so that we see that we like it, and it's kind of centered in that box there. Because again, this is going to be our sentiment that we're using on our card. So let's take a look here, and I think that looks good. We'll probably round some corners maybe on this sentiment, but I think that looks pretty centered on there. Obviously it has some wavy lines, and that's kind of fun. So we want to click on this this font here, go to our edit, we want to go to where the little scissors are, and we want to make sure that this is writing. Okay, and let's just change this color. It doesn't matter what color we do, we'll change it to midnight just so that we're able to see that. Okay, now again we need the K, so let's hit our add text, and we're going to hit the large uppercase K here. We're doing the exact same thing. Let's make this larger so that it fits here in our box. And we'll just wait a moment, and let's see. I don't know if that's necessarily big enough. So let's make it just a little bit bigger. And we'll click over on the side, and I'm using my arrow keys here to kind of move it up a little bit and shift it to where I think it looks best in that square. So I think that looks pretty centered, so that's good as well. So we'll click on here. Again, we want to get rid of those scissors, and we want to make sure that it's writing. Put that in the black just so that we can see it, and then we're good. So let's go ahead and we will select these pieces together. So we'll take the K, which is this, and then the first square, and all I'm going to do is hit Control while I'm doing that, and then hit attach, and it will attach those two pieces together. Then I'm going to do the same thing down here on the bottom. Whoops, I attached the wrong pieces. Let's go back. We'll just hit undo here, and it will undo that attach that I just did there. Whoops. Let's send this to the back. and we'll attach these pieces now. So we want to grab this square and hit Control with this guy up here. Okay, and then we'll hit attach, and it will attach these two pieces together. And then what we'll do is we'll take this this square and the Happy Halloween. We'll hit Control and we'll select the Happy Halloween, and then we'll hit attach on that layer. So now these layers are attached. We'll just hit go, and we'll take it over to our mat, and it will get ready to start cutting and drawing. You want to make sure, obviously, that you have your perfect medium bullet size pen in the A clip on the Explore, and then we'll go ahead and get to cutting and writing. We'll be right back, and I'll show you how to actually go ahead and heat emboss this, as well as add the embossing powder and how we're going to make the card. So we'll see you in one moment. Alright everyone, and we're back, and I wanted to show you what this is going to look like once it comes off of the mat and it is done with the pen. So we'll just pull this up. Just want to be careful because those pieces are still wet from drawing. And we'll pull this up, keep that in our scraps, and these are our two pieces that are completely finished. So we'll pull this up here. We might want to use our tweezers real quick here to pull this up, simply because, or we can just maybe fold this over. I just don't want to touch that image that has been drawn on there. Set this one over here, and then we'll also go ahead and set this one over here. Now you just want to be very careful. As you can see here, I did get a little bit of a fingerprint on here, and what you can do is take your little embossing guy here and take a brush and take some of that powder and just go over that area where your fingerprint is so that we can dry that up, because we don't want to get any embossing powder there. Okay, and also use this little embossing bag whenever you are first putting the paper onto the mat. And now all we're going to do is take our favorite embossing powder. My favorite happens to be Zing embossing powder. It's made by American Crafts. I love the way that it covers. It gets the details very well. It's just an all-around great embossing powder. Do go ahead and sprinkle this on very liberally because we are going to just put this right back into the jar. So we'll go ahead, and you can see I do have a couple of fingerprints there. Usually you can just blow that off. If not, again, take our paintbrush here and get rid of that embossing powder that's stuck there, and we'll set this to the side. And then now let's go ahead and do our Happy Halloween sentiment here. We'll take our tweezers, and I'm just going to run this directly through our embossing powder. I hope that you can see this through our embossing powder, just like we would emboss just a rubber stamp. So again, we'll go through that, make sure that we get full coverage on this sentiment, and brush that off. And again, we might want to just go ahead and blow on this real quick to get all those extra little pieces off, and then we're good. So let's go ahead and put this back into our little jar here. Okay, and put our cap back on, and we're done with that step. So the embossing portion, or at least putting the powder on, is completed. So now what I do is I'll take the tweezer, put it just on the very edge here, because we want to use that for using our heat gun so it doesn't fly all over the place. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the heat tool to set this, and I'm going to fast forward, and we'll be right back. Okay, now our images are all done here, and we're going to set them aside to cool and dry. And as you will notice, and what you probably already noticed, is that these images are different than the original ones that I actually did on the computer, because I already did this whole project, but it was not recording. So I wanted to do a different image so that I did not have the exact same card twice. Now what we'll do is we're going to take our a couple of different pieces here, a couple of different things that I want to use here. I am obsessed with the Martha Stewart Halloween craft papers and washi tapes and all of the different things that she came out with this year. So we're going to use some of those. This actually is not from Martha Stewart. This is from Recollections. It comes in a kind of like a kit like this. There are 40 sets in here, and this was on sale. I think I got this for like $5. So quick card base, ready to go. It's already scored and cut for us. So we'll fold this in half, and all we're going to do is just a really basic, quick card assembly. So now, what I want to do is I'm going to round these edges. And what I'm going to use is my envelope punch instead of a corner rounder, because if I have any tools in my studio that can do double duty, I will use them, because obviously, as we all know, space is very limited in our rooms. We want to make sure that we have, utilize that space the best that we can. So let's go ahead and do these corners too on this one. Just very quick, simple, and easy. Make sure that's lined up. Corners are all done. Let's take away our punch board and get rid of that waste, and we're done. So we have this, our Happy Halloween sentiment, and we're going to want to jazz this up a little bit with most likely some baker's twine, and I'm going to show you a technique with these crystals here. So let's just go ahead, again, very simple card making. We're going to go ahead and take our piece of paper here, get our ATG gun going, use some of this tape to put this on the backing here, and let's get this out of the way so you can still see. We'll place this I want to place it up kind of a little bit in the corner here, as opposed to straight up and down, because this is a Halloween card. There are no rules when you're making a Halloween card. Then I want to put something that's behind him here. So let's go ahead and let's take, these are the stickers. They are, let's see, they're called adhesive border pads. It's adhesive borders. This was $2.99 at Marshall's. I always get all of the Martha Stewart Halloween crafting supplies after the season, and it's not even, I wouldn't even consider this after the season, because obviously it is, I got these, oh goodness, at the beginning of October they were already there, and that's definitely not the end of the season to me. We don't want to waste any of this, so let's take our X-Acto knife on our cutting mat, and we'll cut off that piece, and let's just apply this right back onto our sheet so we can use it for our next project that we want to use it on. And we'll do that there. Let's see, what else do we want to use here? Let's do, let's put these to the side, and let's do some washi tape. But first, let's put our little guy on first. Nope, let's use the washi tape first. So I'm going to pull off a piece of this. I love keeping it ripped. And let's just apply this here, go all the way off to the edge. And we will go ahead and cut this off here so that that is perfect on the edge. Let's do another little piece. Let's rip it, because that was too much of a perfect cut for me on a Halloween card. And then let's just go like this very quickly. And let's see, that's 2 pieces. What else do we want to do? Let's do maybe another piece of washi down here, this bone washi. I love it. Let's do like, just how about 1 piece down here. And again, cut this off. Oops, did I miss that? Yep. Cut this off here, and we're done. Okay, so let's pull this back, and that's our card base. Let's take our little Frankenstein guy here, get our ATG gun, and again, you can do whatever you would like with this project. You can obviously use dimensionals. You can use whatever you would like. I mean, the sky is the limit. So let's put our little guy, let's see, up here. And let's take our sentiment and let's put that down here in the corner. So let's take this and just very quickly again, with some of the cheaper papers, this is the Hobby Lobby brand paper studio. It does fold quite a bit whenever you are, or roll up whenever you're doing any heat setting on it. So the more that you're paying for the paper, obviously the better it's going to be. This is very, very inexpensive paper. So that's why I rolled up a little bit. Just use your ATG gun, put that down. Now what I'm going to do is I have these gems here. You can see a bunch that I've already colored, and I want to use these on the card, but I don't want to use clear ones. It's Halloween. Let's use, you know, some fun different colors. So let's take our Spectrum Noir marker. This is the FL3, Fluorescent 3. I'm going to color on top, very easy, very simple. Color on top of these gemstones. The small, tiny little one, the middle size, and the large size. And go ahead and close up that marker. Good, because it's an alcohol-based marker. We don't want it to dry out. Then what I'm going to do is just take these tiny little gemstones. Whoa, that one just went flying. So let's grab this. Oh, that one went flying too. Goodness gracious. Let's try to take it very gently off of here. Okay, we're not using the small one, I've decided, because they keep flying. So let's just use this big one here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually do it with it. Let's just use our hands, because these are already dry. So let's go ahead and we'll peel this up, pop that down right here. Let's kind of center there. And let's take this medium-sized one, because the small one is just not agreeing with us. Take our tweezer and place that one right there. Now you can add some more here if you would like, however you would like. You can add some twine to it, however you would. Again, the sky is the limit. So here is our finished card using the embossing pen, the perfect medium pen right here, the bullet tip from Ranger. As you can see here, I want to show you a couple of other cards that I made. This is the one that you actually saw in the opening. This is what the image looks like all finished. Here's another little monster, and then here is my Frankie. So these cards, I made 4 cards here, and honestly I think it took me 15 minutes to create all of these cards, and then you have 4 Halloween cards to send out to your friends. So if you have any questions, of course, as always, email me, send me a Facebook message, send me a YouTube message, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. You have a great day. Bye-bye.